149 people are dead in 77 police operations in KZN, and not a single police officer has been convicted. That is the sworn testimony given at the Madlanga Commission this week. The Madlanga Commission turned its attention this week to a policing scandal in KZN. The witness was Len Barnabas John, the IPID's Deputy Director for Investigations in KZN. Right? IPID is, everyone knows in fact, that IPID is a watchdog body legally mandated to investigate deaths and serious injuries caused by police actions. Right? He testified on Wednesday, which was the 12th of August in 2026. John was asked a direct question by Co-Commissioner Sesiba Loyi of the cases he flagged of how many had resulted in police officers being found guilty. And his answer was one word short of nothing. He said, "Nothing as yet, Commissioner." That was the answer that he gave to the commissioners in terms of the question that was posed against him. Now, to understand the scale of what was being alleged, you need the numbers John put on the record, right? Between the 1st of April in 2023 and the 31st of May in 2026, IPID investigated more than 300 cases connected to specialized police task team operations in KZN. These teams were built to target 3 specific areas, right, of which were a problem in KZN at the time. And those include cash and transit robberies and taxi-related violences and anti-drug trafficking syndicates. Now, of those 300 plus cases, 77 involved people dying during task team operations. The death toll across those 77 cases remained at 149, which is something that is quite concerning. The number of people who ended up losing their lives was higher than the number of cases that were being investigated. Anyway, I'm not in that. John told the commissioners that IPID had noted a rise in killings, meaning the killings carried out by police outside the bounds of the law since 2023, and that this pattern is what triggered. Now, it's worth being precise here. These are IPID's own investigative figures presented under oath at the Madlanga Commission. They are not court findings, and no officer has been convicted of any crime in connection with these deaths as of today, or the recording of this video anyway, right? The allegations of unlawful conduct remain just that. They're just allegations. The most serious claim John made concerned the pattern behind these operations, not just the count, right? He alleged that in task team operations, everyone present at the scene tends to end up dead. In his words, he said, all suspects and occupants present when the shooting takes place are killed by task team, leaving no witness to the operation other than the members of the task team itself. And that is quite concerning, but I'm not going to go into those details or specifics of what was happening in that, right? He went further, telling the commission that officers routinely reported suspects had fired first. And I remember at some point discussing this with my friend some years back, and he told me that wena kade awukazuzwe yini ukuthi njalo makuzothiwa amaphoyisa kwadubulana nezigebengu, amaphoyisa ahlezi athi igebengu elidubule kuqala, but I'm not in that, right? But the IPID's own crime scene reconstruction in multiple cases did not support that version of events in some incidents. John said the numbers of these firearms recovered from a scene was smaller than the number of people who had died there, right? Asked about the links between the dead and the cash and transit robberies, task team members claimed to be investigating. John said documentation frequently fell apart, okay? Suspect names appeared in case files, but no clear evidence tied the people who were shot to those specific robberies. When pressed on why, John offered a blunt characterization of what he believes is happening. This is shocking. He said, "They go out to kill." He told the commissioners. That is what he said. These are IPID's characterization of its own investigative findings given sworn testimony. They have not been tested in any court of law, and every individual referenced in this testimony is entitled to the presumption of innocence, right? Two names surfaced in John's testimony as figures with direct knowledge of how these task teams actually operate, right? The first is Lieutenant Colonel Dina Govender, whom John identified as the head of the task team in the province. Govender has not responded publicly to this specific testimony, and no charges relating to task team operations have been put to him in this reporting. And the second name that appeared in his testimony was Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, who is the KZN Provincial Police Commissioner. John told the commission that Mkhwanazi was frequently present at the scene where these shootings occurred, and that he later commented publicly on the incidents. John now suggested that Mkhwanazi would be well placed to explain how the task team is structured and how it operates, right? Effectively pointing the commission towards its next witness. Now, neither man has testified in response to these specific claims as of the recording of this video, and neither has been charged criminally in connection with the task team allegations. Both are entitled to be presumed innocent until proven otherwise in a court of law. All right. Now, John told the commission that some of the 77 cases have already been referred to the Director of Public Prosecutions for decision on whether to pursue criminal charges. That process, from referral to an actual prosecution, can take years in South Africa's court systems, and there is no guarantee any case will result in charges being brought forward. Now, John's evidence stands as testimony, not a verdict. All right. He has concluded his appearance before the commission, but the commission's overall final report is not due until November 2026. And further witnesses, potentially including Govender and Mkhwanazi themselves, may be called to respond to these findings, right? What was confirmed, though, is the case numbers, the death toll, the zero conviction record, and the fact that this testimony was given under oath before the Mazanga Commission, right? What remains unproven, however, is whether these deaths amount to unlawful deliberate killings, and also whether any named individuals bears personal responsibility for that, right? 149 deaths, 77 cases, 0 convictions. Those numbers are now part of the official record of the Mazanga Commission. What the Commission and ultimately South Africa's courts decide to do with them is the story on its own. Sure, I'll be back with another video soon. And from me to you at this point, allow me to end this video, and I'll see you on the next one. From me to you, signing out. Take care. Peace.